It is Indiana in the morning, and it's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. Mark Hilliard joins us from the Indiana County Chamber of Commerce, and our conversation this morning brought to you by Marcus and Mack, voted best personal injury law firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus and Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Good morning.
Good morning.
Summertime, and usually things...
Beautiful.
Things slow down for some folks. They speed up for other folks. For the Chamber of Commerce, a little bit of both, right? I guess, right?
Yeah. So we had a lot of events in May and early June, a lot of bigger events, and it kept us pretty busy. And thankfully, we don't have any of those major events coming up here until September 5th, where our Business Hall of Fame will be held at the Indiana County Country Club, and we're still working also on a date for late August for our Eggs and Issues. So those will be our two next big events, but we still got a couple of months away from that, which gives our office a little bit of a time to breathe. But June has been a busy month with networking events that we've had, and usually summer can be hit or miss, but we've got an awful lot on the schedule. We had an event over at Oakland Cemetery for Business After Hours, which we joked around about last time we were here, but it was a fantastic event, and some of the things that they're doing over there are special. And it was great to get a little bit of a history of the cemetery as well. And then we had an event just last Thursday at Elizabeth Hutton eXp Realty, and she has been known, years ago to be able to hold. She used to hold mid-June after hours, and this one was very similar to a lot of those, where it was just a fantastic event to go to. They did a great job of entertaining everybody. And then we have two more coming up here. So every Thursday in June, we've had something going on. Yeah. We have an event this Thursday at Wolfie's. So they're calling it a happy hour, but it's an after hours type of event where they'll have some drinks and some other appetizers as well. And they really do a nice job of entertaining as well. It's kind of interesting to go in there with all the lights on too, and see a little bit of a different perspective from when you might have been in college in that building. But they still do a great job, and they're great at hosting. And then finally, at the end of the month, we have I think it's 27th, the last Thursday of the month, we have our after hours at Rosiga Cafe over at the Jimmy Stewart Airport. And at that event, we're also going to announce the winner of our Healthiest Employer Challenge, which is a partnership with IRMC that we do. So, and then we have some other things that are already getting scheduled for July and for August. So we'll have more to talk about there. But this has been as busy of a time for after hours that we've had since COVID, and it's exciting. It's good. I think that also means that our business community is starting to see a little bit more activity, and things are really starting to pick up, and they want people in there. They want networking opportunities, and the crowds that we've had have been very, very good too. So I think people are anxious to get out there, even in beautiful weather, to be able to go out and see some of these places and just be able to interact and network. And it's been great. So it's busy. It's not our typical slow down summer, but it's been fun as well.
I think the nature of those events, when they're inward, as such, they are for people working within here in the Indiana County community. It's a chance for them to get together and talk about business, and at the same time just relax a little bit, have a social sort of different feel to that kind of a get together, and it differs from big outside events that also are quite beneficial. Things like the kayaking. Which has sort of an outward feel to it. People coming into Indiana County and taking a kayak ride down the Conemaugh. Things of that nature.
Yeah, boy, that was fun too. We did that on I think it was June 1st when we did that. And you see a lot of people. It was full. It was completely full. We couldn't fit any more people in the group, but we had a lot of people from outside the area for that particular event. But a lot of these after hours, they're mostly people within the community, and it's great to see. And it's a different feel, especially even from our more formal events, where people can network at those, but they don't really let their hair down as much, and it feels like a more relaxed atmosphere to be able to talk to people. And I think people feel more comfortable in some of those events, just being able to network and chat. And even in the summer months, it's been it's great to be able to get out there and see some of the things that we have going on throughout this community, and to see some of these businesses. And places like the Oakland Cemetery, that was interesting because there were things that I had learned about the history going back decades or 100 years, and that I had never known about before. And going into the building with Elizabeth Hutton last week, to see what she's done to that building has been amazing. That really helps to brighten up that block of downtown Indiana. So it's pretty exciting, and we're happy to be a part of it.
You're right. She's done a really good job on that building. And speaking of jobs on buildings and in buildings on Philadelphia Street, of course, the former First Commonwealth Bank location, which now has a whole new purpose, and you're involved in that. And I'm sure you're anxious to get into it, but you and everybody involved are going to take their good old sweet time making sure that it is just the way that you want it to be before you move into it. Do you have progress reports on that?
Yes. We get reports pretty frequently. So we're at the mercy of the bank right now. They're the first ones that have to make their move for a lot of different reasons, and certainly we're going to give them as much time as they need to build out their new branch down the street at First Commonwealth Place. So once they are able to do that, then we'll be able to start getting in there. But when we get in there, we're working on building out a couple things. We're not doing a whole lot of construction, but we do want to build out a conference room that would be a big enough conference room to be able to use for not only the organizations that are going to be housed in that building, but other community groups and folks like the state senator and the representative, if they need to be able to host people or bring in businesses, and something that we can show that will impress some of the outsiders that come into the community. So we're doing that, as well as building out a public restroom. And those are the two things that are going to take a little bit of time. So we're likely not going to be able to move in until some of that construction is complete. We were hoping to be in there at some point this year. That may not happen. I think that may be a little ambitious, even with some of the construction. But it's going to be soon. And, we're happy to take as much time as we need to make sure it's done right. And we think that once it is done right, it's going to be a real asset to the community, not just for us. So we're really excited about that, and we had gotten word last Friday for downtown Indiana that the Secretary of the Department of Community and Economic Development, Rick Seiger, is coming into town this Friday to tour some of the downtown businesses as part of Governor Shapiro's Main Street Matters program. So that's one of the things we want to talk about is that building and some of the plans that we have for it, and it's something else that I think helps to make our downtown one of the most special in the entire Commonwealth. And, that what we're going to do with that building and the uses for it down the road, I think are going to be an asset to everyone.
That visit, of course, from a state official coming to downtown Indiana is not only an opportunity to showcase what is happening in downtown Indiana, but maybe to open a few eyes from across the state about what the potential is for here in Indiana Borough, and therefore Indiana County as well.
I think so, and I think when you go to some of the other communities that have Main Street programs, there's a lot of great communities throughout the Commonwealth, but I think downtown Indiana is special, and I think a lot of the things that we're doing, the partnerships that we have with downtown Indiana, and this new one that we're creating, with the Tourist Bureau in terms of cohabiting that building, those are unique, and the fact that we have the county's support, and we're involved with the county as part of that building, and some of the things that we do with the CEO, I think some of those partnerships really make us even more unique. And so when we get visitors from the state to come to tour our area, those are some of the things that we can talk about proudly, because that collaboration doesn't happen everywhere, and that's how a lot of things do get done. I know people, it's easy to look around and say, well, we still don't have this, we still don't have that, but look at the things that we do have, and then now seeing some of the studies about the projecting population to increase for Indiana County here in the next 5 to 10 years. Those are some of the things that we're excited about, and I think that we're going to start seeing a lot of more movement in this county because of that, and probably a lot more visits from folks around the state, like Secretary Seiger, pretty soon. Yeah, absolutely. Do you have much input, or do the local folks have much input as to what the agenda will be for that meeting? Not really. That's we had just gotten word on Friday about that when I received the phone call, and invitations haven't even gone out yet but it's open to the public. It's not something that's closed doors. But to my understanding, he wants to tour some of the buildings, some of the businesses. He's toured a couple of other areas as well. So my guess is he's going to choose businesses that are, that he hasn't been to yet. So he's not going to choose two of the same type of businesses to try to get a good variety of what's going on throughout the entire Commonwealth. But in terms of the agenda, we don't have a say in it. That's up to him and his team, and we're just happy to have him here, and we'll be excited to hopefully provide some more details soon.
Yeah, things are happening. Things are moving
Yes.
here in Indiana County.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see a lot more movement here very, very soon with a lot of things, retail, restaurant, and hopefully bigger industry as well.
Terrific. Mark, thanks for the visit.
Thanks, Tom.
Appreciate it. Mark Hilliard, Chamber of Commerce, with us this morning. It's Indiana in the Morning on WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. 925 Boomer Sports, brought to you by S&T Bank, People Forward Banking.